A little bit of sun, not going to be looking likely today, but don't worry, by Thursday, things look spectacular. You can see plenty of cloud cover overhead, actual air temperature just shy of 80 degrees. A big reason why those winds from the southwest, that westerly component heats us up incredibly efficiently. Storm Tracker 2 not showing any rainfall, but you'll notice closer to the I-35 corridor in Austin, a few showers out there. Otherwise, it is warm, it is humid. It is spring break after all. As we go through the day today, temperatures warming into the mid-80s with mostly cloudy skies. You will see no problems if you're heading out to the rodeo this evening. However, beware as we look into the day tomorrow, an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Andy, I do think this will impact folks heading to the rodeo tomorrow, but I've got more on our storm threat coming up.
Caroline,
risk all the way up to New England, but it does include us here in Southeast Texas. The risk is low here in Houston, a level 1 on a scale of 5, but you'll notice areas to the northeast have an even higher risk. So let's break it down. What are the threats here? Primary concern is going to be frequent lightning strikes and the possibility for some gusty winds, small hail, and street flooding, but we can't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado. In fact, that risk also going to be highest to our north and east, but it's not going to be throughout the entire day. When it comes to cells that can produce tornadoes, that's mainly going to be isolated thunderstorms ahead of the cold front. So let me walk you through the timeline because it's not an all-day event. In fact, we're going to be starting off the day mostly dry tomorrow. Let's talk about it. Our actual front is going to be pushing through with the timeline pushing through Houston starting around 5 p.m. on Wednesday, and the low pressure lingers those thunderstorms into the evening before a high pressure system dries us out for Thursday. So a closer look is going to show you as we head into the day tomorrow, we're going to be starting with mostly cloudy skies. You'll begin to see some light rain showers possible Wednesday morning. I don't think it's going to make our morning commute too messy, but then as we approach the afternoon, by noon, we'll start to see some of those prefrontal showers and storms. These are the thunderstorms that have that higher tornado risk, even though it is still low. Now, the actual cold front, that line of storms, that is right here at 3 o'clock. You can see it's going to push in from the northwest and move to the southeast. So this puts it in the Brazos Valley around 3 p.m., entering Harris County by 5, passing through the Houston metro around 7, and then after the line is passed through, we can see some lingering thunderstorms into the evening. But by this point, the severe threat's gone. It's mainly going to turn into a flood threat by the later evening hours. That flood threat is going to be present even though the line is pushing through fast. A quick 1 to 2 inches of rain not out of the question. This means if you're heading out to the rodeo, you need to have a way to get weather information. That storm threat is going to be highest around 5 to 7 p.m. But remember, when it comes to cold fronts, they often speed up, which means our timeline could be a few hours sooner. You'll want to keep checking back in on the day to watch. It's Community Day, which means we're likely going to see some pretty big crowds in tow to see Creed. And we're going to see a strong cold front moving in. That's going to bring thunderstorms that could be strong to severe starting early afternoon and lasting through the evening. The main threat, damaging wind, heavy rain, and frequent lightning strikes. We're going to talk much more about that timeline in just a few. But for now, if you're heading out the door, we're not dealing with any rainfall. We've got mostly cloudy skies. You can see a few showers just to the west of Lake Somerville. Otherwise, it is warm and humid. Actual air temperature 85 degrees here in Houston. If you're heading out to the carnival over the next few hours, slow to cool down by 7 o'clock, 76 degrees. If you're heading out to Megan Maroney tonight, should be fabulous. Warm temperatures cooling into the lower 70s. Really, over the next 3 days, the only day we're concerned about for the rodeo, Andy, that's going to be tomorrow for Creed. Coming up, I'll walk you through hour by hour with our storm timeline.
Caroline, thank you.
Unfortunately, that's also Community Day, so I do expect it to be a very busy day at the rodeo. A cold front is going to bring severe weather from Houston all the way up through Pennsylvania. You can see our severe weather risk highest toward our threats here include damaging winds, frequent lightning strikes, heavy downpours, and unfortunately, we can't rule out the possibility of some of these storms rotating. However, I do want to stress our tornado threat is on the low side. As we head through this evening, mostly cloudy skies, no problems here. You'll start to see by Wednesday morning some light rainfall is going to be possible. I don't think this is going to cause very many problems for the morning commute. Our main concern for Wednesday is going to be in the afternoon. As early as noon, you can see a few prefrontal storms to the north of the Woodlands, but the main line of storms, that's the actual cold front that's going to push in from the northwest and work its way to the southeast. Now, this likely is going to be rolling through Washington County, impacting portions of 290 between 1 and 3 p.m., pushing into far northwest Harris County by 5 o'clock. And look at our future track. This shows scattered thunderstorms. The official line pushing through Houston likely by 7 o'clock. But then behind the front, we have a low pressure that's going to make showers and storms linger into the evening. Now, I do think that second wave, the higher risk here, is going to be the threat for localized street flooding, which means you need to be extra cautious leaving the rodeo after Creed. Forecast rainfall accumulation showing our highest totals are expected to be north of I-10. I don't expect this to be similar to what we saw on Saturday. Because these storms are moving fast, the window for rainfall is going to be much shorter, but it will have the possibility of quickly dropping one or Google Play. Otherwise, pollen count, the oak tree pollen is really starting to soar because that storm threat is going to really start to ramp up starting on Wednesday early afternoon and lasting into the evening. Threats here are going to include damaging winds, heavy rainfall, frequent lightning strikes. So if you're heading out to the rodeo, you will need to stay weather aware. As for what we're dealing with right now, well, most of us totally dry, but I do want to show you far western Washington County, a few showers. You could get clipped. We've got showers impacting far western portions of Lake Somerville. It's possible that can dip to the south. That will start to bring rainfall through the overnight hours. Otherwise, the rest of us, it's just warm and humid, temperatures in the mid 80s. Lisa, Bill, coming up, we'll go hour by hour on that storm timeline.
All right, Caroline, thank you.
Likelihood of seeing strong to severe storms, but everybody has a non-zero chance of seeing strong storms tomorrow. Unfortunately, that is going to include the threat for damaging winds, flooding, frequent lightning strikes. We can't rule out the possibility for hail or even an isolated tornado. And that tornado threat, once again, highest to the north and east. So let's dive right in with that timeline, starting with what we have right now. And you can see we've got some showers drifting to the north and east right now around Lake Somerville, a few sprinkles, and even tracking a few lightning strikes up around Madisonville. You can see those showers quickly racing across Madison County. Not expecting anything strong here, but it is something we're going to be tracking over the next several hours. Future track showing mostly cloudy conditions as we head overnight tonight into Wednesday morning. Some light rain showers possible. I think our morning commute is mostly going to be fine. It's not until the afternoon that we'll start to see a line of storms race in from the northwest to the southeast. That's the cold front diving through. And as it moves through, frequent lightning strikes possible. The bulk of the storm, 3 o'clock, passing through Hempstead, you can see rolling into Harris County by 5 o'clock. The Houston area likely 6 to 7. But then after that initial line moves through, models are suggesting another wave of storms possible in the evening. If the first round has enough energy, that second round, the only threat is going to be a flood concern, which means you need to use extra caution leaving the Creed concert. Forecast rainfall accumulation showing our highest total is going to be north of I-10. This is a fast moving at the rodeo. And if you are heading out to Creed, heads up, we've got that storm threat through the afternoon, really after 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. That's going to be our greatest threat time here in Houston. So storm threat, windy and wet as those storms pass through, temperatures in the 70s. We also have a low flood risk as well. So after the concert, you'll want to plan on extra time because you could encounter flooded roadways. So heading to the rodeo tomorrow, have a way to get weather information. If you're heading to the rodeo. Tonight, though, not expecting any problems for Megan Maroney. It's going to be a fabulous evening for rodeo, a little warm, a little humid. Temperatures by 7 o'clock, 78 degrees, cooling down into the mid 70s. No issues this evening. In fact, really tomorrow with the Creed show, that's the only day upcoming that we're keeping a close eye on. Otherwise, temperatures on the humid side, 84 degrees here in Houston, 79 in Anahuac, 83 out in Sugar Land. Today, beautiful. Tomorrow, that's when we have that storm threat. But then that's actually coming with a cold front that's going to cool down our temperatures. In fact, if you're heading to Chris Stapleton on Thursday, there shouldn't be any problems. Forecast high temperature on Thursday, 70 degrees, which means for the Stapleton show, temperatures dipping through the 60s. Lisa, Bill, you'll need a jean jacket if you're heading out on Thursday.
I have to dig it out of the closet.
Get that jean jacket out. All right, Caroline.
In that yellow color, that's a level 2 on a scale of 5 when it comes for severe storms. But everybody does have a non-zero threat of seeing damaging winds, heavy downpours, frequent lightning strikes. Unfortunately, we can't rule out the possibility of small hail and even an isolated tornado as well. Right now, we've got some light rain showers you can see impacting areas from Lake Somerville up through Caldwell, College Station. A few thunderstorms working its way across Madison County and continuing to push to the north of Lovelady there. None of these going to be causing very many problems. In fact, through the overnight hours, we're expecting mostly cloudy conditions, warm, humid for most of southeast Texas. In fact, as we head into Wednesday, we are expecting a few light rain showers for the morning commute. This could slow things down just a bit, but really most of our impacts on Wednesday, that's coming in the afternoon. You can see our line of storms by noon starting to line up and pushing in from the northwest, continuing down to the southeast. That's our cold front that's going to be rolling through. Now, ahead of the front, we can see scattered thunderstorms with the actual front rolling into far northwest Harris County, likely around 4 p.m. Look at 5. We start to get really active. 7 o'clock, the actual line pushes through Houston, but then behind it, more storms are going to be lingering around the area. Because of this, we are also talking about a flood threat. Not anything widespread, but localized street flooding certainly going to be a concern. The heaviest of that rainfall is going to be expected to the north of I-10. The closer to the coast you are, the less likely it is that you're going to be seeing flooding. Now, because I know a lot of folks are heading out to Creed weather, click to Houston.com/watch live. You can watch us live and for free on our Plus channel. Now, that cold front is going to do a number on our temperatures. Look at Thursday for Chris Stapleton, 70 degrees.